As Africa's leading defense news portal, DefenseWeb aims to give you the latest updates on African defense, the South African National Defense Force, and the defense industry. In this week's edition, the Algerian Air Force will receive C-130J Super Hercules transports, Egypt is getting truck tankers and recovery vehicles, a crew is kidnapped from a Ghanaian fishing vessel as West African piracy continues, the first Nigerian Super Tucanos will arrive in July, Nigeria's Gendarmerie receives military equipment from France for counter-terrorism, and there is stiff resistance to South Africa's proposed gun law changes. In SANDF news, a South African soldier is killed by friendly fire in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the reserve force is without a chief, and the Border Management Authority is aiming to employ young graduates. In industry news, 71 Armscor tenders are planned for April 2022. SharpEye radars are to be fitted to the SA Navy's new inshore patrol vessels. Denel Land Systems staff again face short pay, and SVI expands its MAX 3 armored vehicle range. In African defense news, C-130J Super Hercules transports for the Algerian Air Force. It appears the Algerian Air Force will be receiving 4 new C-130J Super Hercules transport aircraft from the United States. MENA Defense in March this year reported that Algeria will soon receive its first C-130Js, which will be delivered by the end of the year. Avions Legendary stated that the first had been assembled and will be delivered mid-year. It is wearing Algerian civil registration ahead of delivery, while Algerian pilots and mechanics are in the United States for training on the aircraft. According to Scramble magazine, Algeria's first C-130J was seen at Greenville/Donaldson Airport in South Carolina on the 23rd of May. The Algerian Air Force already operates C-130H and C-130H-30 Hercules transports. 8 C-130H and 6 C-130H-30 transports are believed to be operational. Scramble added that the Algerian Air Force will apparently be acquiring 4 Lusion 276 MD-98 transport, but few details are known. The Algerian Air Force already flies 3 276 MD and 276 TD aircraft. Egypt getting truck tankers and wreckers. The Egyptian military will be receiving truck tankers, recovery vehicles, and heavy equipment transporters from Oshkosh Defense under a $26 million contract. The United States Department of Defense on the 26th of May announced that Oshkosh Defense had been awarded the contract for the procurement of M978A4 heavy expanded mobility tactical truck tankers, M984A4 heavy expanded mobility tactical truck wreckers, and M1070A1 heavy equipment transporters. Work will be performed in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, with an estimated completion date of 31 July 2023. According to Oshkosh Defense, the 8x8 M978A4 fuel servicing truck or tanker is specifically designed to transport 9,464 liters of petrol, diesel, or jet fuel. Apparently, Egypt already operates several hundred M1070AO vehicles. These are crucial to moving its large Abrams main battle tank fleet around. Crew kidnapped from Ghanaian fishing vessel as West African piracy continues. 5 crew are reported kidnapped off the Ghanaian fishing vessel RSS in the Gulf of Guinea in the latest incidents of piracy in the region. According to Triad Global, the vessel was attacked by armed men on 2 speedboats on the 31st of May, 190 kilometers south of Cotonou. Pirates are understood to have stolen crew properties and kidnapped 5 of 36 crew members on board. Crew reported seeing an unidentified vessel near the horizon prior to the attack, indicating the possibility of a mothership for 2 speedboats that attacked the RCS. The incident follows a recent threat warning issued by Maritime Domain Awareness for Trade Gulf of Guinea, indicating a heightened risk from piracy within the region. The initiative is the security cooperative effort between the British Royal Navy and the French Navy. Another incident occurred on the 19th of May when pirates boarded the Korean fishing vessel Atlantic Princess approximately 100 kilometers south of Tema, Ghana. In that incident, they initially took the vessel but later departed, kidnapping 5 crew members from the fishing vessel. First Nigerian Super Tucanos to arrive in July. The first 6 A-29 Super Tucano aircraft for the Nigerian Air Force NAF will be delivered in July this year, and the remaining 6 on order will arrive before the end of October. This emerged during a Nigerian oversight visit to the United States. The National Assembly Joint Committee on Defense and Air Force, led by Senator Michael Onachi, arrived in the United States on the 27th of May to assess the status and progress of work on the NAF's Super Tucano aircraft. While briefing the NASS team, Colonel Arthur Ford of the United States Air Force Fighters and Advanced Aircraft Directorate stated that 10 out of the 12 aircraft were ready for delivery, while 2 were undergoing modification and integration to NAF-specific operational configuration. He went on to state that 6 of the aircraft are scheduled to arrive in Nigeria in July 2021, while the remaining 6 will be delivered before the end of October 2021. Cameroon Gendarmerie receives military equipment from France for counter-terrorism fight. Cameroon's National Gendarmerie, one of the components of the country's national defense and security forces, has received received equipment from France in what authority says is a boost to the Central African's nation fight against terrorism. The items include 4 DJI Phantom drones, 20 JG airsoft AK-47 rifles, and the accessories to be used in training, 100 bullet-resistant jackets, 50 heavy armored helmets, and 6 pairs of binoculars, among others. The internal security attaché at the France embassy in Cameroon, Colonel Christian Brodin, handed the equipment over on behalf of the ambassador Christopher Gillot during a ceremony on the 28th of May at the Command Center for Germandi School and Training in Yaoundé. Stiff resistance to South Africa's proposed gun law changes. More than 60,000 people have signed the Democratic Alliance petition against the proposed firearms control bill, which seeks to remove self-defense as a valid reason for gun license, as civil society digs in against the proposed changes. The Firearms Control Amendment Bill 2021 was established in the Gazette for comment on the 21st of May 2021, and by the beginning of June, 60,000 submissions had been received. Important changes proposed in the draft bill include the removal of self-defense as a valid reason for a license, the reduction of the firearms license validity period to 5 years, the reduction in the number of licenses allowed, limiting the amount of ammunition per license, and making reloading of ammunition unlawful. Police Minister Beki Cele said the amendments should not be interpreted as though the government is looking to disarm citizens. There is no right to bear arms in our constitution, and the Firearm Control Act in its current form grants no such right to citizens either. Owning a gun in this country remains a privilege made possible through the Firearms Control Act, he said, adding that arming citizens would not solve the country's high crime rate. The mere possession of a firearm can lead to increased rates of victimization, both for the gun owner and those living in the household. Simply put, this proposed change in law also has the potential to mean the difference between life and death for hundreds of women who are in the clutches of their abusers inside their homes, Sele said. And in SANDF news, SA soldier killed by a friendly fire in the DR Congo. A South African soldier succumbed to a friendly fire incident in the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo on Thursday, 3rd of June. A brief statement from the Directorate Corporate Communication of the SANDF said the soldier succumbed to his injuries sustained during a military operation in Kalia, located near the city of Beni in eastern North Kivu. This was the same area a Malawian peacekeeper was killed on the 10th of May during clashes with the Allied Democratic Forces rebel group. Security conditions in eastern DRC, including Beni, have worsened in recent months, with increased violence attributed to various armed groups, including the Allied Democratic Forces, that has left hundreds dead. The SADF said the name of the deceased soldier is Private Simanga Arthur Kuselo, a member stationed at Unit 1 Tactical Intelligence Regiment in Potchefstroom. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. Reserve Force currently stands same at Army Reserves. The One Force concept and doctrine does not appear to have filtered up to the top echelons of the SA National Defence Force management, with 2 key posts in the Reserve Force currently vacant and no indication of when appointments will be made. This is in contrast with the presidential announcement of a new National Defence Force chief and chiefs of some reserves and divisions 6 weeks ahead of the new appointees taking office. When Major General Roy Anderson stood down at the end of May as Chief Defence Reserves, he left with 32 years experience in the part-time components of the National Defence Force. Defence Web asked prior and again subsequently to his departure, who will replace the now retired 2-star. The official response from the Directorate Corporate Communications of the SANDF reads, in the wake of the new appointments and placements of the SANDF General Officers, Flag Officers and Senior Officers in the year 2021, the SANDF is yet to appoint candidates for the positions of Chief Director Defence Reserves as well as Director Army Reserves following retirement of Major General Roy Anderson with effect 31st of May 2021, Brigadier General Gerard Kampfer as Director Project Kobatlala with effect from 1st of March 2021 respectively. Border Management Authority aiming to employ young graduates. Control and protection at a number of South Africa's 72 ports of entry will, according to the Department of Home Affairs Director General, see integrated and coordinated border management become an operating norm by September. Tommy Makode briefed Parliament Select Committee on Security and Justice following presentation of the Home Affairs budget vote in the National Assembly by Minister Aaron Mosaledi. Ports of entry were the newest addition to the South African bureaucracy, the Border Management Authority, are expected to publicly debut on all land ones. They are the Beitbridge, Lebombo, Mzeru Bridge, Vicksburg, Oshhoek, Kopfontein, Groblersburg, Wielsdrift, Ramatlabama, Nakop, and Kwachesnek. Speaking during the budget vote, Mosaledi told parliamentarians the Border Management Authority borderline control function will by the year end be working on the South Africa/Zimbabwe border, the 76-kilometer borderline at Emanguzi in KwaZulu-Natal, between KwaZulu-Natal and Eswatini, and between Mpumalanga and Eswatini. Makode said, as reported by Johannesburg-based digital weekly Mail and Guardian, more than 4 billion rand will be spent in getting the Border Management Authority Authority going. In industry news, 71 Armscor tenders planned to April 2022. Armscor aims to acquire goods and services for the South African Security Services via 71 tenders during the 12-month period ending on the 31st of March next year. According to Armscor's annual procurement plan, its tender announcement is a strategic intervention to improve the overall outcome of various bid processes by providing advance notice to potential bidders to plan and prepare to compete for business with Armscor at an envisaged time, subject to availability of funds. As with all else acquisition-wise, at whatever level of government, broad-based black economic empowerment is paramount. The annual procurement plan notes Armscor prefers to do business with bidders at least BBBEE level 4 compliant and has a vested interest in the advancement of enterprise and supply development beneficiary entities at least 51% black owned by youth, women, military veterans, and disabled people. SharpEye radars to be fitted to SA Navy's new inshore patrol vessels. SharpEye radar systems will be fitted to the 3 new multi-mission inshore patrol vessels, MMRPVs, being built by Damen Shipyards Cape Town for the South African Navy under Project Bureau. Hensoldt UK, previously Calvin Hughes, on the 2nd of June announced that the Calvin Hughes Mark 11S and X-band radars will be used to provide a navigation and surveillance of capability. The solid-state SharpEye features digital pulse compression and Doppler processing of the radar returns, allowing it to detect objects with a low radar cross-section from semi-submerged objects to the smallest of uncooperative craft, even in the most severe weather conditions. According to the manufacturer, a key benefit of the Calvin Hughes radar system is its ability to provide a helicopter control and tracking capability which satisfies the requirements of flight safety. The SharpEye Mark 11 radars are approved by the International Maritime Organization and are installed in conjunction with an OSI integrated navigation bridge system. Sharp radars are in service with some 30 navies and have also been fitted to the SA Navy's fleet replenishment vessel SAS Drakensberg. Short pay again for Denel Land Systems. Employees of Denel Land Systems, the company contracted to build a 240-plus fleet of new infantry fighting vehicles for the SA Army, will receive only 20% of their May salaries. A memo dated 28th of May from Chief Executive Mkolisi Makhathini to staff has its employees will receive a fifth of their salaries, having taken into account our actual cash in the bank for the month, overall statutory obligations, supplier payment obligations, and continuous operational requirements for further revenue generations, and across-the-board percentage payment will be utilized to pay the May 2021 monthly salary. According to the Makhathini memo, all members will be paid a 20% salary, net salary. This will also be the same for all terminations for March, April, and May 2021. The company will honor payment of medical aid and the risk portion of the pension fund. This is not the first time that no employees have been short paid. The phenomenon, if it can be termed that, goes back to May last year and drew comment from the responsible cabinet minister during his budget vote debate. Public Enterprises Minister Praveen Gordhan told the National Assembly it was regrettable Denel employees were not paid in full. SVI expands Max 3 bulletproof Land Cruiser range. Special Vehicle Industries, SVI Engineering, specialized manufacturer of armored products, has recently released the Troopy, the latest variant of its Max 3 armored vehicle range following the double cab option. The Max 3 Troopy is designed as a multi-role armored vehicle carrying up to 8 people in hostile environments. The civilian version does not need National Conventional Arms Control Committee permits in order to be bought or operated. SVI says it has applications in mining, security, riot control, civil security, anti-poaching, and convoy protection. In its military configuration, the Troopy is designed to be transportable in a C-130 Hercules medium transport aircraft and is fitted with weapon mounts for 50 caliber Pintal mounted guns and remote weapon systems. The vehicle can also be fitted with customer required equipment such as communication systems. Built on the Toyota Land Cruiser 79 series chassis, SVI removes the soft skin body of the Land Cruiser and replaces it with a steel body manufactured from armored plate. The vehicle's armor provides protection against assault rifles, B6 level ballistic protection, with additional protection against anti-personnel mounts. The vehicle can be upgraded to B7 and blast protection. The drivetrain is upgraded with rims and tires with a higher load rating, along with upgraded suspension and fitment of an additional rear anti-roll bar. Thanks for listening to the podcast. For the latest, leading and trusted news in defense, aerospace, and maritime security, like and subscribe to our social media channels. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our newsletter and have the latest aerospace, defense, and security developments delivered to your inbox. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week.